What's up everybody, this is Julier. If you're looking for a garage door dispatch software in 2026, the stakes have changed. What I mean by that is till now, most softwares you have to manually drag and drop blocks onto calendars trying to figure out who is the right person for what job based on your tribal knowledge. So you knew that Carlos was good for new door installation, Mike was only good for spring repair, and then you had to do all the plus minus moving things around everything by yourself. But the good thing is FieldCamp's AI dispatcher automates the garage door dispatch. How? We use skills, certifications, who is good at what, historical data which you can import when you are coming into FieldCamp, and then based on all of that we are able to predict that hey, this person Carlos is great for new door installation, but because we are going for a repair, Mike or Carlos, Mike has higher upsell rates based on historical data, so we should sell Mike. Now if you're a small shop like less than 5 people, this might be a good starting point, but the real way where this starts to show results is you have, let's say, more than 40 technicians, 50 technicians for your garage door business, and you want to actually figure out that hey, who is going to bring in the most revenue at the end of day. Now inside FieldCamp we have made all of it possible, not only for you to schedule and dispatch your jobs with one click, but when you click that, it takes hundreds of constraints into account. For example, skills, certification, routes, so route optimization. If someone is in the area, they should be the one doing the fixes. Then not only that, because let's say ServiceTitan Dispatch Pro, one complaint we kept hearing was it optimizes too much for revenue, but real life is more messier than that. On real life, you are going on road, for example, in GTA or in Manhattan, and traffic might delay things by like let's say 1 hour. Then the entire cascading effect, you should not be scratching your head trying to figure out what will happen to the rest of the schedule. All of that stuff should be automated, and in FieldCamp's AI dispatcher it is exactly possible to 100% automate your scheduling and dispatch process. So how it all starts is, of course, you're looking at a planned schedule, but let me just walk you through some of the setup that goes in. This is just top level. What we do is we work with our garage door businesses to understand their dispatch process and customize on top of it or how their exact dispatch process works. But our solver is capable of doing so many things. So for one of the first things is the project based dispatch. What that means is for your garage door installation, it might take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. It can take however long, and each phase might require different skill set of people. And not only that, but the continuancy of phase 2 depends on phase 1, so that is called chaining. So you cannot start phase 2 until phase 1 is completed. All of that, what that means is, simply if Carlos was the only guy on your team doing all the phases, it might be easier. But if you had a specific team who does the wiring or who does the removal, for instance, then you need to schedule them in that particular way using the skills and job types available in FieldCamp. Then you can set who is good at what. So for example, Dave is good at spring repair, tune up maintenance, and cable and roller repair. Carlos is good for new door installation, panel and section replacement, opener install and repair, commercial rolling and street. Mike is good for spring repair, opener install and repair, cable roller and repair, and tune up and maintenance. This list can go like as much as you want. Our dispatcher works very easily for up to 200 technicians. Then you can divide your team in service areas, because now let's say you are a company who operates in entire GTA or entire Ontario, for instance. Then what you can do is you can create service areas wherein, for example, I am just in GTA, let's focus on that. Then the Mississauga and Kitchener area would be one zone, Toronto and Markham would be another zone, and for each zone, what are the teams who go, team members, and then what's the schedule looking like. And then you can have various types of jobs as well. For each type of job, if it's an installation, repair, whatever job it is, what team members are capable of doing it, or what skills are needed, and what specific equipment is needed. So if you need any specific equipment dependencies, that is also covered in FieldCamp's AI dispatcher. Once all of this is simply set up, these are only 3 things, but there's like hundreds of constraints we can have, then the process works very smoothly. FieldCamp not only automates the dispatch and planning part, but it can automate the entire process the moment someone calls in. What I mean by that, is we have a call intake agent. What that does is when a call comes in, we integrate with RingCentral, Quo, OpenPhone, any calling system that you are working with. And then we also integrate with any software that you are working with. So for example, if you're using Jobber, ServiceTitan, Salesforce, Dynamics 365, Housecall Pro, Google Calendar, Field Edge, QuickBooks, we integrate with any of the softwares in two-way sync. Once this part is done, what it means is you can go to call intake, where automatically when a call comes in your VoIP system, the recording and transcript lands on this screen. Based on that, we have a dispatch agent. What it can do is it can extract the transcript, the job type, every single thing, because in most softwares you would need to go ahead, you would need to manually register a job, do all those things. What FieldCamp automates is, as I said, end-to-end communication to a dispatch and refactoring system. So all this system where you have to select what type of job it is, if it's a maintenance job, if it's an install job, if it's a project, then what skills are required, what job type it is, what is customers preferred windows, every single one of these things, they will be automatically filled by a dispatch agent which listens to the calls which are coming from your VoIP system. And not only that, we can predict what will be the estimated revenue and estimated cost based on historical data for this kind of a job. Once that process is in, now everything lands in the queue. Queue is the place where you need to dispatch and schedule these jobs. They have been coming. So for example, this is how a project based planning looks like, where you have a multi-day double door install and opener run in Brownstone. So the first few hours will be gone in demo and haul away. The second few hours will be door, track and spring install, and the next few hours will be smart opener install and balance. So what you need to do is you need to enforce this order, and then it should be in a way where people who have the right skill to have that kind of an installation, those are the only people scheduled in that phase. So this is an installation job. There can be many jobs, for example, which are just quick tune up and safety inspection. And then for each of them, how it works is the AI dispatcher, based on the solver which we have, which has hard constraints and soft constraints, and who is going to be most capable to go on an issue, for example, the Trojan spring and cable combo replacement. Then for example, Dave is the guy who is going to upsell the most amount of revenue, and we have the highest revenue intake. The system is going to suggest him. Now, if I go to settings, you are able to have many settings like this. For instance, that how do you want to enable revenue optimization? If I do that yes, then what's the goal? So I'm just going to say profit first. So at the end of the day, I want the most amount of profit, which means the gap between cost and revenue needs to be the highest. But revenue is just like, hey, I don't care whoever does the most upselling, I just want the revenue first. Once you set up all of this, the system is going to plan out your entire week, month in one click. So you can just click one and send to AI, and it's going to automatically dispatch the job. Now, the good thing is it not only dispatches it, but we are also able to live track this. So the biggest problem with ServiceTitan is that, okay, once you have dispatched it, it doesn't stop there. What happens on the field? Things get delayed. There is rain, there is traffic, etc. So using the live dispatch, you're able to see who is running late, and then you are able to push certain jobs here and there, and you can have an agent which does the refactoring as well. So if something goes late, then you are able to just tell the agent that, hey, you know what, this person is running late, or this agent can observe who is running late and automatically reschedule your calendar. Now, let's say we are on the calendar. As you will see, it has planned the entire, not only this week, but the entire next week for me as well, where who is going where. For example, Carlos is going to be busy next entire week from Tuesday to Friday doing the installation, which he's supposed to do. I can see things on a map as well if I want to. I'm just able to see like what are the routes and everything of people looking like. And as you can see, it's very route optimized way of how the work should be scheduled. Once all of this is done, you are able to track analytics, and all this data goes back to the system of record that you are using. It can be FieldCamp, it can be ServiceTitan, whatever you are using is going to go back to that. If you want your scheduling and dispatch for garage door business automated, you need to talk to us today, because we are the only one company in the industry which automates the entire dispatch process for garage door businesses, from call intake to actually the person reaching on the site and completing the job. Now, the rest of the process, invoicing, estimation, follow-ups, customer notifications, etc., we also do that with our FieldCamps all in one AI operating system. But if you want to use your existing system of record like ServiceTitan Housecall Pro, that is also possible. If you want this implemented, let's talk.